Hey chat, it's Crafty Type 1, and Pokemon Legends ZA might be hiding more than just new Mega Evolutions, because fashion might be its biggest selling point. In this video, I'm going to go over all the customization features we know of, boutiques, and how player identity might be its biggest selling point. In this video, I'm not going to go over any leaks. I do know the game has leaked out, but this video is going to be remaining spoiler free. I'm going to go over everything that we've seen in the trailers and in the previews. So please be respectful in the comments. If you guys do want to hear a video of me talking about maybe what got leaked out, let me know and I might. But speaking of, don't forget to comment and subscribe because I am doing a Legends ZA DLC giveaway on the 16th. Once you do that, you'll be entered. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So, the reason why I think this is very important is because Scarlet and Violet did honestly such a bad job with fashion. It basically made you in a uniform because you were a student. So it makes sense for us to be in a uniform, but that limited the amount of personality we could put onto our trailers. And honestly, for me, kind of got rid of my suspension of disbelief because it made me feel like I was playing a kid instead of playing me. In ZA, that's different. But before we get into that, let's go back because Pokemon fashion has evolved over the years. X and Y introduced full outfit customization for the first time, set in the stylish Kalos region, inspired by France. So it makes sense for them to kind of bring a new level of fashion to, a revisitation of Kalos. But Sword and Shield expanded on the original baseline set by Kalos with more detailed outfits, salons, and boutiques that sold like backpacks and everything. Unfortunately, again, Scarlet Violet scaled it back, and again, it really brought me out of the game. But this time, revisiting Kalos again, it just hits different. Trailers, as you can see right now, have already shown off a wild variety of modern and streetwear style clothing that we haven't really seen in Pokemon before. As you can see right now on screen, just the amount of customization and personality you can put on your trainers is absolutely crazy. I just think the first thing I noticed when we saw Legends ZA actual gameplay trailer was the hair. If you look at the hair, there's like almost two-tone gradients, almost like we could pick two different colors. Which, I don't know why I find that so satisfying, but you could pick a lighter brown and a darker brown and it'll gradient that so nicely. But, of course, with the return to Kalos, where the birthplace of Pokemon fashion began, it makes sense for them to just level it up. And I just can't wait to make my trainer me. Customization as well is one of the most viral parts of Pokemon. Social media loves kind of just showing off your trainer with your Pokemon, and they've already shown off kind of a photo mode in the game. And if you make and I can see a bunch of people making like Instagram accounts of trainers that kind of work well with certain Pokemon, maybe having like an all purple dripped out fit for a ghost team, with a Gengar. It just makes sense, and I know like Game Freak is leaning into this. And with this strong fashion, it could again aid in kind of storytelling as well, because if we are supposed to be these characters, it makes sense. Yeah, my suspension of disbelief is there because I'm living vicariously through this person. Of course, again, Kalos is based in France, so France is known for its fashion. So again, it makes sense for them to expand on fashion in this way. But it definitely seems like in Legends ZA that fashion isn't just something that you can do, but a mainstay in it. I do know in the amount of maps that we have seen in previews that there is just so much customization, boutiques, and everything like that. And I think what has been rumored is that there is going to be I think what has been rumored is that there's going to be like a level up system similar how they did in Sword and Shield, where once you get probably to a certain rank, like rank M or so on and so forth, you unlock more stuff in different salons. Different salons have different clothing items, different hairstyles, kind of making you run around to get exactly the right fit that you want. And I think that's fine. But here I have some screenshots I've taken from different previews and some of the trailers. But as you can see, it is crazy. I don't know. I just think the art style, the player model looks so good. And I really hope that they keep this engine for Gen 10 because it genuinely looks good. Maybe I just want more adult looking player models. And I think they're kind of giving it to us here. They're more like young adults, maybe like even borderline teenager, but I think it's a good age for the main demographic of Pokemon. But as you can see right now, you have, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Beilage, I believe, but that's where you add that highlight to the hair. And it just, I love the gradient and the way that looks. And I definitely do think I'm probably going to be doing something a little fun with that. Speaking of, I will be streaming Pokemon Legends ZA on the 16th for 72 hours straight. So don't forget to subscribe to get notified when I start going live. I'll go live a little bit before release, and we'll just be playing until the game is beaten. But then we also see a bunch of different shirts and outfits. The same system as it seems like with Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield. Of course, you got tops, pants, outfits, hats, glasses, gloves, socks, shoes. I think it's earrings, and then bags are the last two, which makes sense. And then we have some examples of some really cool outfits. One thing to take note, I do believe that it's not gender locked. So, males can have long hair. I do know when I normally play a JRPG, I kind of go for the female hairstyles just because they're a little bit longer. There is no specific gender lock when it comes to the clothing, which we do know that you do choose between male and female trainer because of the trainers because of your rival. They go based off of your choice there. But those are just some of the examples that I was able to grab. Lastly, I do want to go over this article from the Verge. This is on Reddit just because Verge has a little bit of a paywall, but they basically say in a Verge article, your character is a tourist who shows up in a flashy default ensemble of their own. But soon after you arrive, the game gives you a multitude of ways to give them a distinct look of their own. Almost every piece of your character is customizable. Whether it's shoes, socks, bottoms, tops, jackets, and various accessories like earrings, there are plenty of shorts and pants, dresses and skirts. For each garment comes in a variety of colors or patterns. And one of the bigger differences in Legends ZA compared to older Pokemon games is that you can equip any piece of clothing regardless of the gender options when it first began. And that was specifically from The Verge in their preview. I do know Pokemon Podcast, they also talked about the amount of customization. They specifically talked about the way the unlocking system works, how they theorized it was more like Sword and Shield, where, it's going to be after a certain level. Same thing with Scarlet and Violet too. Again, overall, this is just, I'm hoping that they take this into Gen 10. And that's honestly, if anything had to come out of this game, I don't want the real-time battles in Gen 10. I just want the same level of customization, because genuinely, it is exciting that I feel like I'd want to wear multiple outfits in Pokemon Legends ZA. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you excited about fashion in ZA, or is it something you'll just do once and forget about? Yeah, ZA is getting desperately close. I'll probably have a few more ZA videos out. I'll probably have a few more ZA videos out before the launch. But yeah, the wait is getting a little bit unbearable. But anyways, I'm CraftyStep1, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.